So hi guys, this is day 10 of the daily arithmetic challenge. So on the screen now are your first 6 questions. Pause them, have a go. Once you've done that, if you press play, another set will come up. There are 10 in total. We're getting towards the end of the test paper now, so these are quite tricky questions. Once you've had a go at all 10, if you press play, and we'll go through the answers together. Alright guys, it's time to go through the answers. Okay, so the first question, we have got 4 subtract 1.15. So it's all about getting your numbers in the correct place for their place value. I would always recommend popping your decimal point in. So as you can see, I've turned 4 into 4.00. I've popped those 2 placeholders in there. And then that's made exchanging a bit easier for me. So you can see that I've got the answer 2.85. Number 22, we've got 1,320 divided by 12. So the first thing that I did was write out my multiples of 12. So as you can see, I've done that along the bottom. 12 into 1 you can't do, so cross it, move it across. It now becomes 13. 12 into 13 goes 1 time with 1 remaining, so the remaining 1 goes on to the 2. 12 into 12 goes once, and then I've got 0 left over, which I must remember is still important, and 12 into 0 is 0. Number 23, we've got 71 multiplied by 46, so the first thing I would do is circle my 4 to remind me that it is a tens value and that I have to pop a 0 down there when I multiply. So I've multiplied everything by 6, which has given me 426. I've then gone back and multiplied 71 by 4, but remember that I have to put my 0 in first because I'm not really multiplying by 4, I'm multiplying by 40, so it's 10 times greater. And then once I've done that, I've added the 2 numbers together to get 3,266. Number 24, we've got 4 sevenths add 5 sevenths. Your denominators are already the same number, which is fantastic, so that just stays the same in your answer. You don't ever add those together, and then you add your numerators together, which would give 9 sevenths, or you could turn that into a mixed number. You don't have to, because the question wasn't given to you as a mixed number, but if you did give that as a mixed number, it would be 1 whole ones and 2 sevenths. Moving on to 25, 20% of 1,800. First thing I did was found 10% of that by dividing my number by 10, which is 180. So if 10% is 180 and I want to find 20%, I'm just going to multiply 180 by 2, which gives me 360. You could have done that without a method if you just realised that you could do 18 times by 2 and then times your answer by 10 to get 360. Number 26, 15 times 6.1, so there's a number of different ways you could have done this. The way I've used down here to show you today is partition. So I've done 6.1 times 10, which gives you 61, and then I have done 6.1 times 5, which gives you 30.5, and then I've added them together to get 91.5. Number 27, we've got 3/10 subtract 1/20. So the first thing that I did was turn them both over the same denominator, so I turned them both over 20. So for 3/10 to turn into 20, I multiply my denominator by 2, obviously 10 times 2 is 20. I then have to multiply my numerator by the same number, which is 3, so 3 times 2 is 6, and then I just do the subtraction as normal. 6/20 take away 1/20 is 5/20. Number 28, we've got 725 divided by 29. Now again, we don't expect you to know your 29 times tables. All you literally need to do is write out the multiples of 29, and you can go back and you can add 29 on each time. Just be careful that you don't rush that, and don't try and do this without writing out your multiples. Okay, you've got to make sure that your multiples are correct, because everything else is dead easy once you've done that. So 29 into 7 I can't do. I've then got to move the 7 across, so I've then got 29 into 72, which I have got 2 with 14 remaining, and then that means that my next number is 145, and 29 into 145 goes 25. The question number 29, 15% times 440. Now that literally just means 15% of 440. So below I found 10% by dividing it by 10, which gave me 44, and 5% by halving 10%, which would give me 22, and then I add the 2 numbers together to give me 66. So question 30, which is our last question today, we've got 6,574 multiplied by 31. So very much like on the question on the other slide, I have circled my 3 so I know that it's really 30, and I'm going to have to pop a 0 there. I have multiplied 6,574 by 1, which is the first numbers that you can see. And then in the column below we've multiplied the same number by 3, but remember to pop our 0 there as we needed to times it by 10. We've then added those two numbers together, which you can see down below. So well done guys, great work again today, and come back tomorrow for the next one.